much. RTK even comes in, steals a little bit of the stack, and runs himself away. Fear does have treads and a perseverance working towards that Battle Fury, obviously, but still needs more time to finish up that farming item. How are Evil Geniuses going to make that space work?
I mean, right now, AY, I'm sure he's a little bit surprised that they went for the gank there because he's not used to that. He's used to just being given a little bit more space, but it does mean that Fear gets a lot of free information. He knows that there are heroes down there, and it's better for your support to gank, take the gank, but it does mean that YJ also had to rotate down, so it's not a terrible trade for them.
10 seconds
the downside
remaining.
right now for Ehom, though, is that Sumail is getting huge. The timing of his first
5
Oblivion
seconds
staff means
remaining.
that if he doesn't die, he gets one more kill. It's like 14 minutes in mental math for me. So if he gets one more kill, 14 minutes
The
that's going to mean CTY
has
is
arrived.
probably going to go for the Bloodstone first. He's going to have such a rough time in the lane.
Right, talk about a little bit the intricacy
Prepare
of Queen
for
of Pain
battle.
versus Storm Spirit matchup and why it's so important for the Queen of Pain to
This
pick up
was in
her
the
Orchid.
bag the day
It's
Axe
just
was
so that you
born!
force the Storm to be inefficient. If you don't go for the Orchid as a Queen of Pain, then you're allowing the Storm to go for the Bloodstone, and it's incredibly greedy for Storm. But he can get away with it in that case because he has enough HP and mana to work with. But if you go for the Orchid, it forces the Storm to go for something like the Yule Scepter, which is not an ideal item at all. Like, as a Storm Spirit, you never want to go for an item like that. You want to just continue to snowball as hard as you can.
Now I love this build, especially on offlane Earthshakers. Universe is going for the Tranquil Boots Soul Ring. He already has it. This is actually makes it so Earthshaker at this point can be a very efficient farmer, bouncing himself back and forth, especially with the Tranquils and the extra movement speed you have from that. Bouncing back and forth from the off lane when it's pushed in into your own jungle. With the double regen items, you actually are able to farm up multiple camps really efficiently, especially the Radiant side as an Earthshaker. So Universe, if he's given much more space, he will have that Blink Dagger by about the 18-minute mark, but we'll see. I'm sure Ehom are not going to give him too much space to work with, especially with such potent gankers such as the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, Ehom have to be pretty worried though, because Fear is getting pretty much the most free farm I've ever seen an anti-mage get by the 11-minute mark. He's going to get a pretty quickly uncontested Battle Fury, and I mean, it's hard for Ehom to be able to contest the jungle at this phase of the game. EG is doing a really good job of keeping vision up at all times, and I think they actually know that the smoke gank is coming. They're pinging like crazy. PPD's immediately running down, and
Yeah, it's
they
the
actually
counter ward.
fought this.
The counter ward that was placed down as Ehom moved through. They dropped a counter ward, but there was already one from EG, both a regular ward and a sentry, so they see that ward being placed, and they know Ehom, they smoked up, they ran through that area, they dropped the counter ward, and they're coming to gank Fear, and that's why PPD is going to be the one sitting here. Fear is actually hitting himself in the trees right now, waiting for Ehom to go for the dive. Let's see if EG respond with any sort of TPs here, or if they just give up PPD. He's been targeted by RTK. The Iron Shell's on him. Here comes the mass TPs. They do have the Luna who's ready to go with that ultimate, but so too is Sumail. Jumps in. There goes the Winter's Curse on the hit. Let's look the ultimate. Sumail gets off his own, but it's not enough to get a kill. As the Ehom just running over Evil Geniuses at this point. This was not the fight to take. 4 down, soon to be 5 as Universe trapped in a corner up against a creep. Leisurely, Ehom just stroll right into that tier 1 tower, pick up 5 kills, don't drop a single hero, and now get a tier 1 tower. That's the way you set the tempo for the match.
It's in the
He steals the
bag.
weave if you didn't notice, and that makes everybody on EG just drop to like 4 hits from everybody on Ehom, and that's what I was talking about. Ehom go for that smoke gank. It's meant to just take the tower. If you get a kill, great, but I mean, that went pretty much better than they ever could have imagined. Grabbing 5 with the tower, grabbing the anti-mage too without even a disable. Fantastic play by Ehom. Lanam with that weave. That physical damage was just a little bit too much for them to handle.
I'm incredibly surprised that they went for that fight in the first place, especially with the enemy still trying to focus in on that Battle Fury. That just sits back so drastically, but in the middle lane, they're going to be able to get a pick off CTY.
This,
or
my
maybe
friends,
not. They need a little
is
bit more
in the
time.
bag.
CTY's going to be able to make the jump soon. Still has
The
enough damage to
persecution
200
starts
HP,
now.
and he's able to get out. Evil Geniuses just do
In your
not have
name.
the nuke potential. And it all comes down to AUI not quite being level 6.
As
So
Obelisk
frustrating
directs.
for EG because that should have been a free kill. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and they're just starting to get a little bit further.
So I go.
Like that anti-mage, I was stuck free farm, and I must have jinxed him because they
Yes.
immediately go down there, are able to kill him, but Fear's still incredibly close to his Battle Fury, and Ehom is going to struggle to take him
Obelisk,
down.
guide
They only
me.
have one real hard disable in the Winter's Curse. The Rubik Lift at the end game doesn't really suffice, and
God
at
willing.
the same time, once he has enough farm, it's going to be so hard for the Storm to show himself on the map. You saw it earlier today where, you know, Storm shows himself on the
Yes.
map, instant one-shot by the Mana Void.
You've got the Mana Void, you've also
Pass
got
the
Earthshake, who's
tray.
incredibly good jumping hero against
As
the
you
Storm
say.
Spirit with such, you know, instant jump, chain disable between the Echo Slam and the follow-up Fisher.
Up
That's
high
gonna
is
make
path.
it dangerous. And of course, the Queen of Pain is still angling to pick up that early Orchid.
May it please
CTY
you.
is actually stocking up a lot of gold. We're still expecting the Bloodstone, though.
Yeah, I think it's more
As
likely
Obelisk
for a
directs.
full Yules here. I actually might think a little bit better. He needs some way of escaping everything that EG has.
Hallowed ground.
Really, because you were raging pretty hard about Yules just earlier in the breakthrough. How you really did not like that item on
I mean, I
Storm's
still
Grave.
think he should go for the Bloodstone.
Don't
If he
In your
decides to
name.
go for Yules, I wouldn't hate him for it. I think if the Queen of Pain gets an Orchid in the next 2 or 3 minutes, I think it's all worth it.
Fear's still getting some farming time here.
Your bottom tower
Off
is
lane
under
now,
attack.
And they're giving some room to Universe as well. He's actually got 1,000 gold in the bank working towards that Blink Dagger. Trying to get the
Obelisk infuses
out of
me.
their jungle as possible while still safely doing it.
So I
Now
go.
Farming up that hard camp. There goes Ehome. And this is the thing that's really
Yes.
nice about Ehome. We casted a lot of them in the group stage. They look pretty much flawless. They're in control of the game.
Yeah, this is what they're going for. They're trying to get one pick on. They see Sumail
Up
right
high
now.
is
They want to
path.
get the mid tower immediately after that. That's why CTY is pushing the
Your
lane in, so
bottom
Ehome
tower
can
is
go
under
for this wrap
attack.
around. Sumail's the real target here, though. DDC, he should
My
pop the Arctic
holiness
Burn
hides
soon.
me.
UI gonna be targeting Sumail, already caught. There goes the double disable.
Yes.
They're gonna try and burst a
Your
bolt
bottom
down. They will be
tower is
successful,
under attack.
especially with Lana stealing that line strike array. Universe just throws out a Fisher to try and shield up Ehome, but they're gonna take the last tier 1 tower remaining of Evil Geniuses.
Every single time Ehome goes for this play, they set it up so
Fitting
well. They
penance.
send one hero to push in the mid lane, and the others can wrap around, and that one hero can throw them. CTY with this sort of start, there's no question
As you
about
say.
it. He's gonna go for the Bloodstone. Sumail's Orchid is way too late at this point, and EG,
Leap
they're
of faith.
struggling, but at the same time, Fear continues to farm. I wouldn't be too worried yet if you're an EG fan, because he's about to pick up that battle fury, and once he does, it's going to be a lot easier for him.
Justice served.
Once he has the Manta, that's actually going to be a really
May it
fun
please you.
Still, though, the team fight for now from Ehome just seems unstoppable. Between the early mech picked up by ROTK and the quick BKB of YJ.
I
It looks
transcend.
pretty obvious that Ehome are kind of going all in for that 20 to 25 minute marker. If they can actually take down all the tier 2s, pick up Roshan with the amazing amount of team fight that they have, they'll just get such a large net worth lead. Now
Obelisk,
AUI's
guide
going to be
me.
caught here. Lanham stealing that one. They actually managed to grab the blink as well, so he may look for more. Well, never
God
mind,
willing.
just AUI. That's all they can find.
Infused with the
Actually,
spirit.
even better for Lon M right now, and that Blink Lift is going to do so much in this early game where he can pretty much initiate on whatever he wants. That'll mean that Sumail's really susceptible to ganks. He only has 1,000 HP.
CTY, he's going to push this even more aggressively.
As
not going for the
Obelisk
Bloodstone.
directs.
He's going for the Orchid. He says, you know what? Good luck, Sumail. You thought you were going to get the Orchid first with that early
So I
start in
go.
the laning phase? Nuh-uh.
And he opts to go for the Orchid, I think, mainly because he wants to slow down the anti-movement farm and just apply as much pressure as possible. I think this is also in response to
Worthy
the fact that he's
donation.
won, like, 4 consecutive fights in a row. And this means that he'll always get the jump off on Sumail. Getting the Orchid on Storm is so much more important than the Queen of Pain because the Storm can roll in from pretty much any distance.
Right, he can actually put out 90% of his damage as he jumps in, hits that instant disable, and get a whole bunch of
Even
Orchid,
more
whereas the Queen of Pain can't do the
blessed.
same. She jumps in, Orchid's up the
My
Storm Spirit, but doesn't have a
gratitude.
disable to chain with it, so the Storm Spirit's just gonna, Orchid her back, and
Leap
there's
of
no
faith.
damage there.
I think Ehome's next play is after the stack.
God
He's
willing.
gonna have a BKB. You just walk into Roshan after deboarding, and then Roshan.
My flock
get it to
increases.
CTY, and then 5 man down, probably even bottom tower is the easiest one to go for. But I would like to see them go for the 5 man here. CTY, I mean, he's prepped for top, but UI's in position, and I think after the stack, they'll probably
Obelisk,
go for
guide me.
Jump in, Sumail gonna be the target here with the Orchid. AUI will respond, but Light Strike already
Up high
dodged
is
by
path.
CTY. No chance for Force Sumail. 2 to 12 right now as Ehome just taking it.
It's so hard for this Queen of Pain to
May
survive
it
against
please
that. Even
you.
with that Lina there, CTY at the edge of his vision, spots it coming, goes for the extra jump. Perfect play so far from him, and this is the second
I
time
send
he's
you
used
home.
that mid lane, and they used to call him the 6-minute god, but he's been dominating this entire tournament after that point. And here's what I was talking about. Immediately jump into the roach pit. You know you have the counter vision, and you You can get this for free, and after that, just go for the 5-man push bottom because
That's
you're
warded.
so stacked.
Blink Dagger now picked up by Universe. This may turn the fortunes of Evil Geniuses, but it's looking like eHome perhaps just a bit too far ahead. They give the Aegis over to CTY. This is going to be one of those
Middle is missing.
situations. He's going to jump in, go for PPD with that Orchid and the double damage. Easy kill there.
Hallowed ground.
Just walks away.
My congregation
That bottom tower is
grows.
so much easier to take than that mid one. It's harder for EG to set up for defenses on the high ground and that cliff area where the Earthshaker could sneak in. He's got his Blink Dagger too, so eHome just want to eliminate all chance. Going for the bottom tower after the Roshan.
Middle is missing.
And it's just easy to call
Yes.
games. Like, you know what they're going to do, but they're so good at doing it that it doesn't even matter.
Look at that. If that doesn't say so much about this game. Pairing the two offlaners, ROTK, already picked up his Arcane's mech and
Middle is
Dagger
missing.
now at the same
Yes.
time as Universe has just picked up a Blink. Let's just show
Oh, it's a
the
coin.
drastic network difference between the two. As we hit the 20-minute marker. What's the
My
total network
holiness
difference right now?
deepens.
eHome over 10,000 gold lead right now.
Middle is
10,000
missing.
In your
experience.
name,
Yeah, that's pretty absurd at this point in the game. It was just so many ganks that they set up for that they went.
May it
They
please
were originally
you.
going for the tower, but they pick up 3 heroes. They pick up 5 heroes in one engagement. They go for the Roshan. They take a tier 2 uncontested. None of their tier 1s have fallen at this point in the game. eHome keeping every single one of them in. I mean, Spear, Pneumonia, they just managed to get them out.
safe.
I mean, you gotta take certain
Yes.
risks, right? As a safe lane farmer at this point in the game, you're gonna get rolled over soon by eHome.
Dazzle! My faithful join
Good
me.
team fight items. They're gonna come at you with that Aegis. They're gonna take away the rest of your trees. It's not gonna be long.
In your name.
Before they go up, so you know eHome are not just gonna give room
Shadow
here for him to
wave.
farm up. So he's gotta play a little bit
A high attack.
as efficient as humanly possible, even if it does come at the risk.
Oh, it's hot.
Jump
Leap
in.
of faith.
YJ managed to get the cold embrace, and looks like eHome are going to be just fine. In fact, they're only
Yes.
looking for the Winter's Curse there. CTY gonna come in for the side. Sumail spots him out, puts the Orchid
As
on
you
him.
say.
PPD is responding there with at least the heal. Universe doesn't have anything to be able to jump in. They just put the
Obelisk,
Shadow
guide
Grave, and
me.
Sumail will be able to get out. But eHome push back Evil Geniuses for another tower.
Yeah, this should be
So
a
I go.
them. There's no way that EG decide to defend this anymore. They use the Echo Slash already at top.
Dazzle! Hallowed
What's gonna go
ground.
with Live recognizes that that Orchid Storm is going to allow that to happen.
Oh, CTY comes in with like pretty much no HP at all. He's fearless, and oh, what a dodge! He still goes down.
Test
That's
your
just the
faith.
Aegis. Fear's gonna try and jump away. ROTK tries to follow up, but it was a blink and TP out. CTY, man, dangerous player, almost picks up the kill in the enemy. That would have been huge. Still, though, the tower goes to the Radiant, and that's something for EG.
Your middle
Turn to
tower
watch.
is under
Actually,
attack.
I mean, this just embarrasses me. That dodge, that timing on it as well, it was just so well played. And CTY
As Obelisk
making himself
directs.
a case for the best storm here, and I mean that's just absurd to me. It's like I'm speechless right now. Every single time that he goes for it, he's about to pick up a 24-minute Bloodstone
Yes.
Orchid in a competitive game against one of the best teams in the world. Is absurd, but EG, I mean, they can
Unwilling.
still do it. That was an interesting fight here. About to pick up the Manta style. I can't stop saying it.
So I go.
Anti-Mage versus Storm Spirit, one of the easiest things to do. All you have to do is wait for that 10k Storm net worth to go in, instantly get rid of it with just one mana point.
Oh, Fear. Spotted out by DDC and Lanham. They actually stole the blink, brings him
Your
back.
bottom
Telekinesis,
tower
Winter's
is
Curse
under
gonna be
attack.
coming in soon. Oh, get the pullback. Winter's
In your
Curse
name.
now laid onto Fear with the Orchid on top. It's almost enough damage. There it is. Wicked sick for CTY. And he looks for more on the side of Lanham. PPD trying to go for the TP out, but no chance. eHome, the nukes are too much.
They're just everywhere.
Your top tower
you
is
saw
under
that.
attack.
The Anti-Mage was going to be able to survive one more hit, but that's the DD Storm.
Silent,
Gets so much damage right now.
unorthodox.
250 a hit. And then
Your
they
top
survive
tower
that
is
right
under
now.
attack.
I mean, EG, they just have to work at stopping the bleeding right now. You have to get your Anti-Mage that Manta style. You have to trust your Universe to make a big play. Sumail still playing the defense hero with that Sonic Wave on that Queen of Pain. You can still do this if you're EG, but every single time one of those deaths happens, the margin just closes.
I am
It's about to get
redeemed.
a whole lot worse though as CTY
Obelisk,
is
guide
closing
me.
in on that Bloodstone. Start racking up the charges soon. YJ also
Yes.
his next team fight / pushing item coming in. The Manta. Soon to make
Yes.
his debut. This means YJ doesn't even have to worry about popping BKB.
May it please you.
against him.